Hello, Michele from Grumo here, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to create a card reader, a business card reader from scratch using Glide and its native OpenAI integration. The way it works, you simply upload a picture or take a picture from your phone, and then the app is going to extract the contact data from the business card and then add it to your contact database inside your Glide app. All right, let's get started. Just go to your Glide account and then click New App, and we're gonna call this Card AI, and then Continue. We're gonna use Glide Native Tables, click Create App, and then our app is here, but now we have to go and clean the database. What we're going to do is just delete the two default tables because we don't need them right now. And then we just have a user table. Now we're gonna create a table for the main screen of our app. We're gonna click the plus button, then blank table. We're gonna call this form, and we're gonna name this form. And now we're going to add a few columns. So a column to upload the card photo, and it's gonna be a basic column of the type image. Select column is specific for the user because we want anything that is uploaded to be specific to the person that is using the app. So that way we're not sharing data across all the users of this app. Then we're gonna duplicate this, and we're gonna add a column called loading of the type number, precision 1, no need for the group separator. And this is just so we're gonna have a loading GIF or GIF spinner while we wait for AI to extract the data. Now we're going to add two AI columns. One is gonna be called image to text, and we're gonna use the AI column image to text. And the image is going to come from the card photo that we uploaded, and we're going to not describe it, but we're going to extract the text from it. And now we're going to create another AI column called text to JSON, and it's going to be a AI column where we're going to select the text to JSON, and we have to provide some instructions, and the instructions are going to be exactly these ones. Extract these values: name, email, position, company, phone, website, and address from the image to text, from the text that was extracted from the business card. And we're gonna click Save. So basically now we have all the logic that we need in order to extract data from a business card. How awesome is that? So we're gonna upload a business card here, just a generic business card from a guy called Jim Bob, a graphic designer, and we want the app to extract all this data, okay? Let's see if that works. So the photo is being uploaded, and now we should be able to see here the actual data being extracted. And there it is. We have the text extracted, Jim Bob, graphic designer, the phone number, email, the company, and then we created that JSON object here that is grabbing all those parameters as we want to. And the reason we want to save it as a JSON object is so we can save each parameter individually into a new table that we're going to call cards. So I'm going to create that new table now, and we're going to call it cards or contacts. And we're going to rename the first column to card ID. And then we're going to add the columns for each of the contact details. Name, and I'm going to do this really quickly. Email, email type, position, company, phone, website, and finally address. There you go. So this is where we're going to save all the contact details for each business card. And now we have pretty much all the logic that we need to create this business card reader app. Now we're going to create the user interface. And for that, we're going to go to the Layout tab, and we're going to delete these two default tabs. And we're going to create a new tab using Screen from Data, and it's going to be the form. We're going to delete the default components, and now we're going to add a container, and we're going to make it small and X large for the padding. And we're going to add two text components. So we have some basic information for our users. And the first one is going to say upload photo. and it's going to be style large, and the second one is going to say click below to upload a photo of a business card. And now we're going to add a file picker component. Okay, and we have to map this to the card photo column, which is already done by default. We don't need the title. Okay, we can delete the actual file that we used as a test. And we need now a button so we can save the extracted data into the contacts table. But we only want to display this button when there's a photo uploaded. So for that, we can go to options and visibility and add a condition that says only show this button when there is something inside the card photo column, when that column is not empty. So if we upload now a photo of a business card, once it's uploaded, we'll see the button, right? And now we need to add the logic to save the contact details from that business card. Now we've created that JSON object here under form. So what we can do now is extract all the data from the JSON object using these columns. So we're gonna just call them name and then start typing JSON and then query JSON and then just type the name of the parameter inside the JSON object. And we actually want to grab the JSON column, right? And you can see how the name has been extracted, and we can do that for the rest of the parameters. Great, so we've created all the columns that extract each parameter for the contact that we're extracting from that business card, and now we can create a custom action. So we're going to go to layout, and then under the button we're going to select it, and we can go here, click on the button, and then under the actions we're going to create a custom new action, and we're going to call it form add contact. Okay, and now what we can do is save that contact. So we're gonna select that show notification and select add row, and then we're gonna save it under the contacts, and then we're going to map each column with the corresponding column from the extracted data inside the form. So name, email, position, company, phone, website, and address. Okay, so we click done, and when we do this, we can just click go, and we've created a new row here with all the details. Okay, we can delete the empty row, the first row. Now there's something we want to automate, is that when we add this new row, we want to redirect the user to that detail screen so we can see that the data was extracted properly. To do that, we can use this little trick, which is we're going to save a temporary card ID value. So we're going to call this card ID, and it's going to be user specific. Okay, and then we're going to relate that to the contact table. So contact rel, and it's going to be a relation column where we're going to relate the card ID or contact ID with the card ID inside the card table. Okay, and now under actions, what we're going to do is add a new step on our custom action, which is going to be called set column values. We're going to move that to the top, and we're going to set the column values of the currently logged in user. So we're going to select the user profile row, and here we're going to save, as soon as they click the go button, a unique identifier. Okay, and then once the data is added to the contact table, we're going to redirect the user to the detail page of that new contact. And for that, we're going to select detail, show detail screen, and we're going to go to the user profile contact rel. This is how we're going to redirect the user to the new created contact. Now, in order for the relation to work, under the add row step, we have to save the correct card ID that we just created and we saved in the user, the currently logged in user. And therefore, we have to go to here, and under user profile here, we're going to select the card ID. So remember, we saved the unique identifier for the inside the users table under the card ID column. And now that it's saved, we can use it to save it under the card ID. And now because we related that card ID to the new card ID that was created, we can redirect the user to that screen. Let me show you how this works. So we already have a business card uploaded, and I'm going to click go. And now we've been redirected to that business card. This is the default detail page, which we can delete the details here. And we can change the title of the screen to that. And then the fields should be, well, the corresponding fields for this business card. So we're going to just add them in the order that we have them in the database. And we'll be able to see how this works. Website and address. Great, let's test the app now with a second business card. So let's just upload a second business card, and it's uploading, and then the button is going to show up. We click go, and there we go. We extracted the business card details, and now we have two business cards. So what we can do now is add a second screen where we're going to display all our contacts. All right. And we can select the collection and say that's going to be a list, and we're going to map the different parameters here. The description is going to be, let's say, the email, and we don't have an image, so we're just going to remove that, and there we go. Now we have a simple way to store all our contacts from scanning business cards. The final thing we're going to do is optional, and it's just cosmetic. For example, we may want to have a little loading GIF while we wait for the photo to be added to the database. So for that, we need to display a animated GIF spinner, which we can easily create at a website like loading.io. And you can use the default spinner that they have here, but they have literally thousands of them. And to generate it, you probably want to make sure that it matches your theme color. So you got to go to settings and appearance, and then you can change the color of your theme. Let's make it blue, for example. And then you want to grab the actual hex color and copy it under the loading.io website. And where it says color, you would paste it there. That changes the animated GIF, and now you can click the GIF to download it. And then click download, and it's building it. And now you can go and save it. All right. So we can go to our form and add a new column, and it's going to be loader, and it's going to be of the image type. And now we can upload our little animated loading GIF or spinner. Okay. And now we need to add the logic to decide when we show that spinner, right? So I'm going to create a new container where we're going to put that spinner in. So we got the new container. I'm going to call it loading. And here we're going to have insert component image, right? And we're going to select the spinner image, and we're going to make sure that it's circular and the size is small. There you go. And the name, well, we don't need a name for it. Now we need to add the logic that decides when we display this loading spinner. So we can select the loading container and go to options, and then under visibility, we're going to add a condition, which is going to be that we are only going to show the spinner when the value under the loading column is equal any value that you want. In this case, it's going to be 1 for me. 1. and you can see how it's disappeared. We're also going to make the other container disappear when we're showing the loading spinner. So that way we prevent the user from interacting with the form. And under options, we're going to add a condition that we're only going to display this container when the loading column is empty, right? Now we need to go to our actions and we need to modify the existing add contact action because we want to set a column here in the form table. When we click the go button, which is the button to create a new contact from the extracted business card details, we're going to set the loading column to 1, right? That's the first thing we're going to do. And then once the contact has been added, after this step, the add row step, we're going to reset the loading column to empty by selecting clear value. So now when we upload a new business card, let's do that. We can click go and you should see the spinner showing up briefly. You see? Boom. There you go. And a new card has been added and it's listed here under our contacts page. Now, if we go back to data and the form, you see that I also had a JSON result user-specific column, which we're not using in this app. But if you wanted to use Glide's OpenAI integration, not the native one, but your own OpenAI integration using your own API key from OpenAI, then you could use, instead of these two AI native columns, you could use a complete, let's go under actions here. When you click the go button, you could add here a step called complete chat, right? And then you will have to add your own OpenAI API key, right? Which I'm going to paste here. I have already an OpenAI key, right? And then you would use the GPT-4 Vision preview model that allows you to analyze images. And then when you grab the image from the card photo that was uploaded, and you have to enter a message here. One is the prompt system and the other one is the message that you want to send to OpenAI. And this could be, you know, here is the business card, but for the actual prompt, you could enter something like return a properly formatted JSON object with these business card details. Use this JSON schema, which is the schema that we want in order to extract the parameters inside the business card, right? And then the result would be saved in that column that I just was mentioning, the JSON result, right? So when you use your own OpenAI integration, it gives you more flexibility as to the message that you're sending. You can also change the parameters under model, which can give you more control on the results that you get from analyzing that image. But anyways, for our purposes here, we're not going to use this, but I just wanted to mention that that's an alternative way of using AI in Glide, using your own API key, which you can get at platform.openai.com, and then you go under API keys, generate your own API key. You need to add some money in advance in order to be able to start using their models, but that's how you would do it. Now, the final thing we want to do is to publish our app. So we're going to click publish. We're going to give it a name. It's going to be called Card AI. We're going to publish it. As soon as we do that, this app is available on the internet and you can open it. But in this case, if we go under settings, privacy, it's private, which means only people in this case and inside the users table can log in, but you can change this. You can make it public if you want to, but you have the controls here. And now the final thing we can do here is just modify the icons here. We can call this main screen, we could call it Card AI, and change this icon to something like lightning, and then under contacts, we can change the icon to this people icon, and then the main app icon we can select from any of the default ones here, or upload our own app icon, We can just change it to that, and there we go. We have our own business card reader app created without coding using Glide and its OpenAI integration. If you want to get a copy of this template, just go to grumo.com/cardai. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.